As they fell from heaven, the plants said, "The living soul we pervade, that man will suffer no harm." This quote from the Rig Veda's Hymn to the Plants, a Sanskrit text composed between 1500 and 5000 BC, translated by David Frawley, indicates the very long, reverent, and beneficial relationship shared between people and plants. I speak on behalf of the few, the proud, the herbal medicine graduates, Tai Sophia's silent minority. We are the ones huddled over our computers, camping out in the library, hauling pounds of books through the parking lot. I like to impress my friends with the number of library cards I've accumulated during this program. Have you heard that the herbal medicine program is academically rigorous? It is. And the irony of all this time spent in front of the computer is that I believe I speak for most, if not all of us, when I say that we were called here by the plants. From our diverse backgrounds, we were drawn together by the green spark, as Paul Strauss calls it. And then we spent nearly 3 years sitting inside, writing scientific research papers. And yet somehow in the same magical full circle way that going too far to the right brings one to the left and vice versa, this immersion in biomed and Latin names and scientific research has brought me to a deep kinship with the plants. Not just an on-paper knowledge, but visceral relationships. They are my friends with their individual quirks and personalities. These relationships give me a sense of connection with the earth. What could feel more connected than walking outside and seeing your friends peeking up through cracks in the sidewalk? We were released into the wild occasionally. We had classes held in the herb garden and afternoons spent among Dr. Jim Duke's plants and stories and songs. And most notably for me, our camping trip to the United Plant Savers Sanctuary and Paul Strauss's farm in Laurel, Ohio. That intense trip forged some of my strongest plant relationships. Wading knee-deep into a stream to harvest calamus. Have you ever smelled calamus root? Anyone? You guys have. If you haven't, it should truly go on your lifetime to-do list. And picking cleavers in the woods and wearing it all day as a wreath in my hair. And cleavers is one of the happiest plants I've ever met. It's just laughing all the time. I have learned in this program how people and plants evolve together throughout history. We are structurally coupled, wired together in our existence on the planet. And Diane Connolly reminded me recently that structural coupling is love. It means making space for one another. But if no one speaks plant, how can we work together? If no one knows the mysteries of a dandelion root, we'll have a lot of well-manicured lawns, but no medicine out there amongst the grass. I consider my calling to be that of a plant translator. My deepest joy is introducing plants to people. Having a conversation about why I'm picking that red clover flower, or showing a skeptical 8-year-old how to make a plantain spit poultice, or amazing someone with their first leaf of lemon balm. Have you ever smelled lemon balm? And that should go on your to-do list also if you haven't done it. Building relationships between plants and people so that more and more of us can feel a sense of recognition and belonging when we walk on the earth, hopefully in bare feet. So while the past 3 years have indeed been a rigorous academic journey, often overwhelmingly about learning to speak the language of science, it has ultimately been a journey of learning to speak the language of the plants. The silent green allies that we so often take for granted. I close with this quote from the Rig Veda's Hymn to the Plants, which acknowledges the ancient mystery and power of the gifts offered to us by the herbs. Plants, which as receptacles of light were born 3 ages before the gods, I honor your myriad colors and your 700 natures. 100, O mothers, are your natures, and 1,000 are your growths. May you of 100 powers make whole what has been hurt.